laughing because score is in the name Scorpio, and it rules the genitals, and score is a description of scoring. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you know what I'm saying. But anyway, Scorpio, what are they truly about? Well, the first thing, as I think personally, that is just, ultimately the Scorpio trademark, even though they bite or they sting, should I say, is their intensity. This sign is highly intense. They do things on an intense level. They're not intense all of the time. They're not like, they're just active, intense, doing this, that, and the other. I would say that's sometimes a bit more like Mars in Scorpio. But Scorpio sun signs have a level of intensity and focus when they're doing certain tasks. They just hone in and they put every single bit of their energy into what they're doing, and they're highly intense. This intensity really is spectacular sometimes. This is why they can do many different things, because of the level of intensity they can provide whilst performing a task. Very, very intense time. And obviously this intensity can go the other side where, they can be too intense and too much for people. And this intensity also covers like relationships as well. They can be highly intense. This is probably where it shows most for Scorpio, in fact, in relationships, when they can be highly intense with their partner, and sometimes their partner may not be able to handle it. So this can be a thing for Scorpio too, definitely. But they are also very, the word I would use obviously is investigating. Now, they all have this, now we're in the world of social media and everything like that, right? And the Scorpios are the type of sign that investigate you as a person. And they may not just investigate you, they may be doing research or trying to find some information out that there's something that they want to know about. Let's say they want to, invest or do something, go somewhere, have, book something. They're going to investigate. They're going to put all their efforts into investigating and finding out what it's about, what they can do, what are the pitfalls, what's the positives, what's the negatives. They are the investigators of the zodiac. There's no doubt about it. And with the social media side, if you meet up, if you are with them or trying to be with them, they're going to investigate your social media 1000%. They're going to find your social media. They're going to pay to find your social media. They'll go on the apps where you have to pay for like information. They will do it. They probably have an account with them already. Like, they are investigators. They want to know what they need to know, whether they make the decision or not. And this is because they do not trust. They do not trust. They think that everybody can potentially be out to get them. That's their mentality. They don't trust. They may not display this side of I don't trust. They may not show this side of you're not for me, or I don't like you. They're good at, not 100%. Sometimes you can see it depending on type of Scorpio, depending on the other chart spot. They all innately do not trust until they trust. And even when they trust, they still kind of don't trust. Scorpios know what I'm saying anyway. When I say that, they're just waiting in some ways for the trip, for the pitfall. In relationships specifically, more than anything else. And the reason why is because they idealize. Idealism. And this means, basically, for those who don't know what that means, is that they look at people and things, and when they don't really know things 100%, they can put them on a pedestal. They are the sign. Scorpio are the sign that put people, things, companies, clothes, events, things that they don't fully know, they put it on a pedestal. Okay? They may think they've done their research, investigation, whatever. And they may think they've come to trust or find a way to trust. And if they find a way to trust, they put these things on a pedestal. But obviously, we know, or some people know, that if you do, you're only going to set yourself up for failure, because you cannot put things this high. And that's why they don't trust. That's why they don't trust, because they put it too much faith in certain things, and then they let them down, and they say, well, I'm not going to trust. I've been let down. I don't trust. But they haven't seen the full picture. They idealize. They say it's like the idea of in their head is actually better than the reality of what is actually going on. That's a Scorpio trait. And that's not an obvious Scorpio trait, but it definitely is a Scorpio trait nevertheless. Nevertheless, they do that. Another one which I think everybody knows. Revenge. Scorpio, they're about revenge. If you've done them wrong, they're gonna get you back. And even if it's something small, they're gonna get you back. They can't seem to let it go. They can't. Sometimes they don't sleep because they're thinking so much about what's happened. They've brought you in, they trusted you, etc., etc. You've let them down, or you've said something to them that offended them. Remember, they're water signs, so they do have. They're the least sensitive of the water signs. Don't get me wrong, but they still have sensitivity, nevertheless. And sometimes they do cover it with bravado. But if you upset them, they are vengeful, and they're going to get you back. This is how they operate. This is what they do. They will get you back. They have to get you back. They're vengeful people. And, sometimes people may say, it's better to forgive and forget. They can try to do that. And there is Scorpios that do that. And I think there is like the highest level of Scorpio who can forgive and forget. It's the high level. But it's very hard for them to do that, because they really, really, it eats them internally. What someone's done to them, they just can't let it go, and they have to strike back. Because remember, scorpions, they have the stinger, the tail that strikes. They have to strike back. They have to strike back. It's what Scorpio does. What was I going to say? Scorpio is also very much all about leaving a legacy. They want to leave their mark. Just like I said about the Scorpions. Scorpions, when they sting, they leave their mark on the kiss of death on the skin. That's Scorpio. They want to leave a legacy. They're all about what they're going to leave behind. They're all about they're all about that. They don't want to just be average. They don't want to be average. They are highly ambitious, but the ambition comes from the legacy that they want to leave, how they want to be remembered. They want to leave their mark. Like I said, it's highly important for them. They cannot operate without, and that could be through just, the kids, for example. That could be just through having, your kids be, successful, and your kids, pushing their kids to be, the best that they can be and stuff like that. That's them leaving their legacy, because kids come from their kids come from them. It's I think they always push their kids, Scorpio. They want the best for their kids, 100%. But it's about leaving a legacy. Another thing about Scorpio which, you know, I think is obvious to some, but maybe some people may not know, is that they're very like deep into spirituality or occult. You know, I would call it like maybe um deep occult nature. And what this means is that, like, you know, Scorpios, like I said, they have this investigated type of mindset, and but they have this deep kind of like occult. Uh, you know, they want to understand. They know that it's not just about, you know, what we see here. They innately know. They've innately grown up knowing that this world isn't just what we know. They know there's way more that we can't see. They have this internal feeling. They know there's something more here. And they're deeply into occult things, things that are offbeat, just like, you know, astrology, some people may call it like that. You know, palm reading, card readings, you know, they may be into other things, like many different things that could go through the whole list, but they all have something that they're deeply into that is off the track of normal, or what people would class as normal anyway. They're all into that. They all have that about them because they know they're deep. You know, Scorpios are so deep. Like, you could say that they're kind of like the deepest type of, you know, star sign, you know, because it's like, you know, like, you know, they are secretive. Very, very secretive. They will, that's why they're so deep, because they will take secrets to their grave. They will take secrets to their grave. They don't care. They are highly, highly secretive. You're never gonna know everything about Scorpio. They're never gonna reveal everything to you. Even if they completely trust you, they have to keep some things to themselves. This is how they are. There's things that they've done or seen or heard or what's happened to them that they don't want you to know, and you will never know. So they're secretive, you know, very, very secretive. And it's some, and people might say, well, I can't trust that type of person, or I can't be around someone who hasn't told me everything. But I mean, no one has a right to know someone's secrets. So I respect that about Scorpio, that they keep their things close to their chest, 100%. You know, um, they also have healing powers, and this might sound like, what do you mean healing powers? Well, we know Scorpio, it rules the genitals. Okay, now we all know the song that Marvin Gaye sings about healing. Yeah, I can't say the word because TikTok or YouTube or whatever might pick it up and not like it. But their healing powers are within the intimacy. They have the ability to heal themselves and heal others through deep intimacy, and they also have healing powers out of the intimate realms. They can, you know, they're very much people who can fix you, can help you, like with just like their energy. They're very, they understand energy as well. They are very energetical beings, and they can heal you. These are the types who are the healers. These are the types who are the shamans, and you know, the doctors, and you know, all types of healing. The people that do Reiki. I know a lot of Scorpios, they do Reiki a lot, because they just are the healers of the zodiac. You know, they can heal you, and they can heal themselves. They obviously find it harder to heal themselves, but they will heal other people. They do have the energy, but they don't let it out that often. They don't give it to anyone either. They're very selective in who they give their energy to. You know, this is the key for them. And another thing that they do a lot is they transform. I don't mean transform into like another being, not like that, but they transform themselves regularly. They can And they can go from being a type of person one day and transforming into another person. They're ready to come and go with a different person or a different type of, I wouldn't say different type of character, because that's like, split personality. It's not like that. It's like they can, even in the way they dress, they can just, it's just like a transformation sometimes. They can just literally look like something and look like somebody else completely, just by how they dress. This is just an example of it. They just have the ability to transform themselves, their style, their hair. They're quite, they have a quite a unique fashion, but they are quite fashionable at the same time. But they have this unique ability to just change and just transform into something better. And they want to also transform, their life. And there's so much transformation going on there, and trying to achieve what they want to achieve, so they can transform their life. That's why they're so intense with it. That's the intensity behind it. That's the power behind their transformation, is the intensity. 100%. I would say one more thing about Scorpio, which I haven't said anything really negative but I will. But this time, well, revenge is a bit negative, I would say. But they can get very, very down very, very easily. I'll say easily depressed. The reason why they can get easily depressed, this is part of the transforming thing. Okay? This is part of their own individual process. They get depressed, so they're happy, they want something, they want to leave a legacy. Maybe they're not close to that legacy. So and that could be a relationship, that could be a lifestyle, that could be, something that they want in life, and they get easily depressed because they don't have it. But that's what they need to do. But they go through a period where they don't potentially want to be around anyone, or a period when they're down. Maybe you won't see it or feel it, but they'll definitely feel it inside when they're by themselves. But that down period is because they are actually they need to, it's what we call the eighth house in astrology. It's just death and regeneration. It's like a death of an ego, of the ego, kind of. Excuse me. Death of the ego, yeah, to create a new ego. You remember Scorpio? Yeah, Scorpios. And another sad thing about Scorpios. Anyway, let me just focus on what I was going to say. Easily depressed. Scorpions have the ability to kill themselves. The insect scorpion has the ability to sting itself and kill itself. Yeah. So Scorpios have the ability to kill their own ego. That depression, they kill their ego, and then they transform into the better version. And that's why they always like to transform. That's why they want to transform. They want to go to their better selves. So they can leave their legacy behind, you know? But the biggest thing about them, obviously, is the intensity, not trusting, and the secretive nature. They all have that. They're very secretive, intense, and don't trust. But, you know, is that really a bad thing? I don't think it's such a bad thing, to be honest. I think, yeah, they have their style, they have what they do, and you know, I think all Scorpios need to focus on is their legacy, what they're here to leave behind. If they focus on that, they'll be good. Hope you guys enjoyed.